We are live from Studio A inside Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma, ready to talk all things Sooner sports.
And we have OU wrestling joining us tonight for an exclusive interview.
Plus, OU football looked to snap Alabama's 17-game home winning streak.
I'm your host, Aiden Tyler, and I'm joined by Cam Williams and Hallie McPherson. This is Sooner Sports Pad.
Welcome to Sooner Sports Pad, presented by OU Health. Proud to be Oklahoma's flagship academic health system.
The song says that Alabama spent their dollar on beer, but they should have spent it on a better offense. We'll have reports on OU football's historic performance in Tuscaloosa. But football's not the only sport we're talking about. I wouldn't recommend getting into a fight with our guests. Thankfully, they're here for an exclusive interview instead. We'll also talk about the men's and women's basketball teams who are fresh into their season. Now midway through Red November, OU football looked to save their playoff hopes in Bryant-Denny Stadium. Alabama's won 17 straight home games, and Ty Simpson in the first quarter throws an interception to Eli Bowen. He intercepted one in last year's game. He didn't go all the way last year, but this time he does. Takes it all the way in for a pick six, 10-0 OU. And in the second quarter, John Mateer's going to keep it himself. Runs right, cuts back left. He's got open grass. He's going to fight through, spin through, touchdown from 20 yards out. That's the QB Sooner fans have been waiting for. OU defense was stifling. They allowed just 80 rushing yards in the game, and with the game on the line, push comes to shove. 4th down and 6. Bama has to get it. He throws, and it's the other Super Bowen bro, Peyton Bowen, who breaks up the pass, wins the game for Oklahoma 23-21.
Yeah, Aiden, the Sooners beat Bama with just 212 total yards of offense. It's fewest in a win since 2001 versus Texas, and our own Michael Thompson was in Tuscaloosa covering the game and has more on OU's offense.
The Sooners played the role of the spoiler on homecoming weekend in Tuscaloosa, but it wasn't pretty. Oklahoma's 212 yards was the 4th fewest in a top 5 win by an FBS team since 2000. Now this offense still has plenty to work on, but John Mateer knows that starts with the name on his back.
It's just being able to be mature and reflecting and knowing that it's not like we're messing around, but we have stuff we're not scraping and we need to get better, and myself included, and I still have it, but we know that like losing isn't really an option, and it never is, but we let it slide, and so not letting stuff like that slide can win us games. Well, the defense is helping. I mean, they're putting us in the red zone, and when you do that, it feels really good as an offense. I think we need to get in the end zone more, and it starts with me. Just being more efficient, pulling the trigger. Like I had one and I missed it, and I had a couple that I missed it, but I'll be better. The only thing that matters is going 1-0, and I think that's me maturing. It's been a challenge, but I mean that's all that matters. And you look at the film, and I'll get better, and there's still stuff I left out there, but I'm not going to say I'm passive, but there's things to win a game that you need to do that I had to learn.
One bright spot for this offense, their red zone efficiency. 31 for 31 this season. They put up points every trip. They have 2 games to go. We'll see if they can continue that perfection next weekend against Missouri. Reporting from Bryant-Denny Stadium, Michael Thompson, Sooner Sports Pad.
The Sooners' lone offensive touchdown scoring drive came after the special teams forced a fumble that set them up on Bama's 31-yard line. And over the course of the season, we've seen this offense not be able to push the ball down the field. And versus a stout front seven like Mizzou, the Sooners need to be more efficient.
Cam, Alabama's offense completely crumbled against OU's defense, holding them to just 7 points in the second half. Sooner Sports Pad reporter Landon Thomas was there and has all the details on OU's defense.
Hard to kill. That is the defensive mentality the Sooners set for themselves this week when they headed to Tuscaloosa to take on the Crimson Tide and beat them 23-21. This couldn't have been done without forcing 4 sacks, 3 turnovers, and an 87-yard pick six by cornerback Eli Bowen that helped set that hard-to-kill mentality the rest of the way.
We forced, some big-time turnovers. Sometimes that, when it's said the way it said, it's like, oh, well, if that hadn't happened. Well, it did happen, number one. And number two, we forced them with, great pressure up front, guys running the ball, hawking at the football. There are several times we didn't get the ball, but if you're paying attention, and really kind of lifting up the hood and looking at it for what it is, man, our guys were attacking the football.
Man, we was on his tail for not getting that. We were just having fun, but yeah, I mean, we just knew we had to get it back. We knew that turnovers are a big part of this game and winning this game, and we just had to make everyone we could. So we knew that not getting that, we had to make a play.
We knew what our defense was about. ever since we got these guys in the off-season, spring ball, fall camp, it was just haymakers. I said it before. It's just haymakers going back and forth. And this team is just so talented. We have such a high ceiling, and like I've been saying, we haven't played our best ball yet, and that wasn't our best ball. So we have a lot of stuff to learn on, but the biggest thing is we came out with a victory, and that's all that matters.
Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Landon Thomas, Sooner Sports Pad.
OU's defense struggled to force turnovers at the beginning of the season, but things have changed. Like Landon said, OU had a pick 6 and 2 fumble recoveries against a really good Alabama offense. This defense never let up, even getting a fingertip on the ball to block a field goal in the first half. OU's defense for sure won this game for the Sooners.
Well, coming up, we'll talk everything Missouri, who may be without their starting quarterback yet again, but it's still a pretty dangerous team and offense. Keep it here. Welcome back to Sooner Sports Pad. The Sooners kept their playoff hopes alive with a massive win against Alabama, and a big part of that was thanks to a transfer from UTSA, who Sooner fans should hope doesn't go anywhere near kicking a burrito. Chris Holman has the story.
Aiden Tate Sandell has made his last 21 field goal attempts and is 7 for 7 from 50 yards or more on the season. Both of those are Oklahoma program records. The rest of the Sooner squad knows how crucial his play is for this team.
We'd like to go down and punch it in the end zone ourselves, but it's good to know that if we can get him in position, he's going to go out there and execute. And we love that out of a guy, and we love Tate. He's an awesome dude. Got a lot of confidence, got some swagger. It's awesome to have a guy like that we can put a lot of trust in, and it takes a lot of pressure off our backs. Knowing that pretty much once we pass midfield, it's almost in Tate's range.
We're just confident in our abilities, and if it's on the call sheet, we're confident that we can execute at a high level, and that's just something that we're not going to have any other way. We should have an advantage at every part of the game, whether we like it or not.
He's been automatic all year. It's crazy. You almost feel like whenever you cross the 50, you got 3 points. Not a lot of people, not a lot of teams get to feel that way. He's an awesome kid. He's a cool kid. Everyone on the team really likes him, and he's really talented, and he's good at what he does.
Coach V saying that the strength of a team is the team, and special teams is super important. Like we have, in my opinion, we have the best kicker in the nation. And Tate Sandell, he's crazy. He can keep the short shorts going.
Sooner fans are going to hope those short shorts stay hot when Oklahoma hosts Missouri this weekend. But after his performance against the Tide, Sandell was awarded SEC Special Teams Player of the Week for the 3rd time this season. Back to you, Aiden.
Thanks, Chris. The Sooners have a tough task with Missouri coming to town. The Tigers average nearly 35 points a game, but again, their QB Bo Pribula may not play. They've also nearly doubled their opponent's total yardage on the season. Mizzou averages 450 yards per game, and running back Ahmad Hardy is one of the best in the country. He's over 1,300 rushing yards and 15 touchdowns this year. Kevin Coleman, senior wide receiver for Missouri, had this to say about the game against OU. We see everything they say about Coach Drink and the Mizzou football team. He continued by saying it is a big game to show the doubters they can win the big games, and that all seems like fuel to fire in an old rivalry that is renewed. And last season, this rivalry was played for the first time in 13 years, and Mizzou came out on top in a heartbreaking loss for OU. Cam, the Tiger offense is much improved this year. What are they doing this year that Sooner fans need to know about?
Yeah, Aiden, Mizzou is 5th in the SEC in total offense, and everything starts in the backfield with the nation's leading rusher, Ahmad Hardy. ULM transfer is lighting up the SEC this year as he has over 1,300 yards and 16 TDs through 10 games, and their passing attack is one to be respected as well. Backup true freshman Matt Zollers is slated as of right now to be the starting quarterback, but Sooners DB Eli Bowen is just focused on the task at hand.
Like you said, our goals are still in front of us, and we got 2 more games left, so they're the only thing that can stop us from reaching our goals, so I feel like that's where the drive will come from, just getting through them. Last year we lost to them, so, come in a little bit more motivated just because of that, just because we can't go 0-2.
Cam, Missouri has a solid defense. The Tigers rank top 25 in scoring, total, rushing, and passing defense, but OU has ways to attack, especially on the ground. Missouri has allowed at least 125 rushing yards against 4 SEC opponents. If Oklahoma's run game is ever going to light up the stat sheet, then the time is now. OU's offense cannot look like how they did a year ago in Missouri if they want to win. OU tight end Jaron Kanek remembers that tough loss.
Keep that in the back of your mind, like as a revenge game maybe, or you lost these teams in the past and kind of have that bad taste in your mouth. But at the end of the day, we're more focused on who we are and doing what we do. And kind of like I said, just reverting back to our process of how we prepare for opponents and just not letting Oklahoma beat Oklahoma and shooting ourselves in the foot. And so you like to say it's a nameless, faceless opponent, but obviously it feels good to beat a team that beat you last year.
I think there is going to be some misery for Missouri. I just don't think they can beat a red-hot Sooner squad with or without Bo Prabula. Sooners by 14.
I like the way you think, Aiden. OU is going to get their revenge from last season and keep their playoff hopes alive. Oklahoma by 10.
I'm right with the both of you. This OU defense is clicking on all cylinders, and Ahmad Hardy has never seen Kip Lewis coming through the A-gap. Sooners by 14.
Well, some good reasons there for the Sooners to take a victory. But I want to ask our in-studio audience what they think about the Sooners' playoff chances. Madison, do you think OU can make it? And if they do, who would you like to see them play in round one?
I think it's a no-brainer. We're going to be there, and while we're there, we're going to play Notre Dame.
Notre Dame would be a tough task. Ethan, I'm going to ask you the same two questions.
Well, yeah, we're obviously making it. I mean, the hard part's done. Alabama's out of the picture, but USC revenge game, and we're taking them down. Sooners by 50.
Well, they both seem to think that OU can make it. USC would be crazy one, Ethan. Cam and Hallie are going to sit down with two members of the OU wrestling team when we come back, and Cam told me he was worried about ending up in a headlock. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. It is now time for a sit-down exclusive interview with our guest this week. Welcome to the show, OU Wrestling. PJ Parker is a senior from Moline, Illinois. Last year, he compiled a 21-8 record at 184 pounds. He even notched 5 ranked wins. Tyler Wells is a junior from Princeton, Minnesota. He was a 4-time state champion in high school who comes to OU after transferring from Minnesota. Cam, Hallie, I wouldn't want to mess with these guys.
Thank y'all so much for joining us at Sooner Sports Pad tonight. Now y'all's home opener is on Sunday against Indiana. What are y'all expecting?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to having a home opener. It's a tough team that we'll face, but we're up for the challenge, and we got a good Sooner squad, so I think we're all excited.
It's always great competing in McCaslin. The fans, everyone packs the field house, so we're looking to put on a show for them.
And DJ, take a look up here. We have this picture of you wrestling. Just take me through your thought process. What's going on here?
Don't slam them, actually. You get someone up that high, and it's kind of hard sometimes, but you got to control it, bring them down safe, otherwise you can lose team points. Yeah.
Now, y'all dropped to Penn State last Friday, who's ranked first. What did y'all learn from that experience?
Yeah, they're a really tough team, and we did get beat up pretty good. However, we did have a duel the next day against Bucknell, and we kind of bounced back there, so we ended the weekend on a high note.
It was definitely a learning experience for us. We'd rather have those losses now than in March when we have the NCAA tournament, and it's great to be able to see those guys and get the opportunity to compete in such a great arena.
Yeah. Now you guys have been 2-time NCAA qualifiers. Just what does that mean to you guys?
Yeah, it's cool, but obviously that's not the goal. So this year, we got big goals. So we're an All-American national champ. We got to work towards those goals.
Yeah, I fully plan on winning a national title this season. I've been there twice, and I've seen the competition. I understand what it takes to be on top, and the coaches, they're constantly pushing us to get there.
Y'all just added in 6 new transfers to the team. How have they impacted y'all so far?
Yeah, it's great having those partners. So they elevate your wrestling and you elevate theirs. So it's just kind of a win-win, and they're just gonna boost up the rest of the guys on the team, and it's just gonna be the standard.
Being able to have those guys in the room and constantly pushing each other and helping the younger kids, the younger men on the team grow, it's been great, and it's made a big impact on the guys, and then being able to compete with them too, we're putting everything together.
Now y'all enter the season ranked number 19th by the NCAA. Just where do you guys want to finish?
Yeah, we kind of already set this goal that we want to be a top 10 team come the end of the year. So yeah, so it's a big goal, but I mean, with this class that we got coming in, I think that is for sure doable.
With the talent we have on the team right now, I fully believe that we can be a top 10 team. It's definitely going to be a climb, but we love a challenge and the opportunity to be able to compete against those other teams.
What team are y'all looking forward to compete against the most?
I'm kind of just looking forward to everything. I'm really looking forward to wrestling Iowa State and then UNI. So those are two of the teams that are really tough in the Big 12, and having duels against those teams at home will be fun.
Yeah, I think two really exciting duels will be Iowa State and Rutgers. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Good luck on the rest of your season. Aiden, back to you.
The OU wrestling squad is fresh off a win against Bucknell Saturday, and they're at home for the first time this season Sunday at 2 p.m. when they host Indiana. When we come back from the break, we'll talk some other Sooner sports who battled over the weekend. Keep it here because there is still a lot more to talk about. Welcome back to Sooner Sports Pad. Basketball season is underway for both the OU men's and women's squads who have some high expectations. And football is not the only sport that is nearing its end. Volleyball is almost over too. OU volleyball wrapped up their regular season Sunday against Tennessee on the road. The Sooners battled with the 19th ranked team in the nation but could not find much offensive success, scoring just 11 and 15 in the first two sets. Sooners would fall in 4 sets to Tennessee. OU finished 7 and 8 in conference play and will be the 9 seed in the SEC tournament. They will face Arkansas round 1, who they did beat in 4 sets back in October.
And women's basketball completely dominated Western Carolina Sunday afternoon, beating the Catamounts 95-32 in a lopsided affair. And Reagan Beers led the way for the Sooners with a 21-point, 10-rebound double-double, her third of the year. And freshman sensation Aaliyah Chavez stuffed the stat sheet, scoring 19 points to go along with 6 rebounds and 5 assists. And up next for the Crimson and Cream, a matchup Wednesday night versus East Texas A&M.
On the men's side of Sooner hoops, the Sooners were clipped against the Nebraska Cornhuskers. OU came out hot with a 10-0 lead and maintained the lead the whole first half, but Nebraska rallied. In the second half, the Cornhuskers shot over 64% from the three-point line, sending OU home with a 99-105 loss. Nigel Pack led the pack with 27 points, and Xavier Brown added on 20. OU men's basketball will be back in Norman this Thursday night to host Oral Roberts at 7.
When we come back, we'll react to the college football playoff rankings that just got announced. And Cam and Hallie will go head-to-head in another edition of Face Off, so keep it here on Sooner Sports Pad. Well, the college football playoffs just got revealed, so we're going to go ahead and give our first thoughts to them. The Sooners coming in at number 8 in this week's poll. They are into the playoffs for the first time all season, and they would face off, if the playoffs started today, with Notre Dame, who was in the national championship game last season. Cam, what are your thoughts on seeing those rankings?
Yeah, and kind of where I thought OU would be expected. We'll see if they can finish out these last 2 games versus Mizzou and LSU to go 10-2.
Notre Dame really hasn't seen that much competition. I would love to see a matchup of OU and Notre Dame.
And Notre Dame has been red hot, but so is Cam in face-off. I mean, he's been on a roll. It's time for Cam and Hallie to go head-and-head. Cam's up 1 after being red hot. As we hit those final few shows, every single win matters. Hallie, let's see if you can tie it right back up. And I'll even be nice and let you start us off tonight. I know the offense was not great, but it was enough. Who is your offensive MVP following the Sooners' huge win in Tuscaloosa?
Aiden, John Mateer deserves to be the offensive MVP after this huge win. Mateer went 15 for 25 passing and was the only Sooner to get in the end zone. But most of all, he didn't have any turnovers against Alabama. Mateer looks like he is getting his confidence back at the right time of the season.
Hallie, I don't know about that one. The only confidence I have is in the leg of Tate Sandell, the SEC co-special teams player of the week and the Lou Groza Award semifinalist, went 3 for 3, including a long of 52 yards against Bama. And quite frankly, he's been the Sooners' best offensive weapon all season long.
Now, we know how good the defense was. 3 takeaways, points off every single one. Cam, there's a lot of people you could choose, but I need to know who your defensive MVP is.
Yeah, Aiden, the only right answer is the guy that changed the momentum of the game for the Sooners, Eli Bowen. In the first quarter, when Alabama was driving down the field, Bowen came up huge with an 87-yard pick six, evading multiple Bama defenders in the process, and that touchdown gave the Sooners an early 10-0 lead.
Cam, how about the player that made multiple game-changing plays for the Sooners? Taylor Wine's blocked field goal at the end of the first half was huge, saving OU's lead going into halftime. But Wine struck again in the third quarter, stripping the ball from Ty Simpson, resulting in a game-changing fumble recovery for OU.
Y'all could not have gone wrong there. You could have chose anybody on the defense, and I wouldn't have be surprised by the pick that was made. But I do want to know what surprised you the most about the Sooners' win.
Honestly, Aiden, I was just shocked OU came home with the win. There were so many factors going against OU. Alabama was 4th in the nation and looking like they were going to get the revenge from last season blowout in Norman. Now OU is 2-0 against Alabama in the SEC, while also breaking their 17th home game win streak.
Hallie, wrong again. Oklahoma's defense is good enough to keep them in any game, but the most surprising thing continues to be Oklahoma's offense being quite frankly non-existent. John Mateer only threw for 138 yards on 23 attempts, and the X-Man only had 34 yards on 10 carries. They have to help this defense out at some point.
Okay, good picks. This one is really close. Cam, you've got one last opportunity to defend your winning streak, so tell me what you're looking forward to about OU's game against Missouri.
Yeah, Aiden, like I said before, this Sooner offense continues to be, quite frankly, abysmal, ranking them in the bottom 5 of the SEC in total offense and no real identity on that side of the ball. Mizzou comes into Norman ranked 6th in total defense, and their game-wrecking defensive end Zion Young will be ready.
Cam, have you even been paying attention? One of the most important things for OU's defense right now is getting R. Mason Thomas back out on the field. Thomas and Jaden Jackson were both game-time decisions, and only Jackson made it out on the field. OU did get the win without Thomas, but having him back would really help out OU this weekend.
And I am glad I do not have to decide the winner because it is close this week. So our audience will go ahead and decide for me. If you think it was Cam, let me hear some noise. That's some good noise for Cam, but if you think it was Hallie, be louder. Still pretty close. One more time for Cam Williams. I think I know who's going to win it. If you think it was Hallie, one more time. Cam, I'm afraid your win streak ends here. Hallie McPherson is this week's face-off winner. Pretty resounding victory. Thanks for watching Sooner Sports Pad. For Cam Williams and Hallie McPherson, I'm Aiden Tyler. We'll see you next Tuesday, same time, same place. Have a great night, everybody.